Check out the Patriots Talk podcast for more on the latest moves by the team all throughout the offseason. Just go to the NBC Sports Boston YouTube page or find the audio version on your favorite podcasting app. Let's get to the Ford Tough Play of the game. Presented by Ford Trucks, the best-selling trucks for 49 years, built Ford tough. Jaylen Brown, 8 points, 7 assists in just 15 minutes in this game before he was ejected with 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Giving Wemby the too little right there. Again, the Celtics were tied at the half. San Antonio took a 7-point lead going into the fourth. They win at 125-116. And we'll continue to keep you updated if we hear anything else as far as reaction goes from the locker room, from the league, whatever it might be in regards to Jaylen Brown. Elsewhere around the league, Eddie, this game was packed tonight, but you had Bam Adebayo, who had a massive game for the Miami Heat. They beat Washington 150-129, but Bam Adebayo had 43 points in the first half, 62 by the end of the third quarter, finished with 83 points, surpassing Kobe Bryant. His previous career high was 42. He was 20 of 43 from the field, 36 of 43 from the free throw line. What are your thoughts on Bam Adebayo going for 83 against the Wizards?
I mean, come on now. At the end of the day, would you ever have thought Bam would be able to put up 83 points? Nobody thinks that because he's not shooting. Look at a lot of these shots right here is going to the basket. Like, he getting money. He's putting pressure on the defense. He out there ball. I mean, that is amazing right there. Like, for real, especially in today's type of game, you wouldn't expect a big man to have 83 points. You would expect that from like a guy like Steph. You would expect that from a guy like Anthony Edwards. You would expect that from guys that are shooting high volume threes. You know, Jayson Tatum or Jaylen Brown possibly. You know what I mean? You would expect that from those type of players. But you wouldn't expect that from a big fella. You know what I mean? He shot 22 threes, though. He did do that. He got him up. You know what I mean? He only made 7 of them. But everything else, I mean, 83. Look at the free throws. Though. Come on,
it's a lot of free throws.
That lets you know that he had 36. He made 36 of his 83 was at the line. So, you know, you got to give a salute to that because at the end of the day, I don't care what we're talking about. It's hard to get a basket in the NBA. It's hard to get 20 in the NBA. It's hard to get 30 in the NBA, 40. But you get 83, man, that was. All you could do is say, "Man, amazing," and the second best. You know, and we might need to see some footage on that Wilts 100 because we ain't never seen no footage of that.
So there's the 83 in the tweet. He's obviously holding up the to honor Wilt's 100 photo. There's Bam with the 83 photo. So he goes ahead and now has the second most points ever scored in an NBA game with 83.
Man.
I think Wilt's record of 100 is going to be safe, Eddie. I would say.
It is, but I mean, can we get some footage on that, though? That's all I need. Only footage we got is him holding a piece of binder paper up saying 100 with a Sharpie. We need to see at least some footage of that. I know somebody got to have some.
And I kept that was 20 years ago that for Kobe there, you saw the number that he put up. Okay, so Bam Adebayo with historic nights against the Washington Wizards as you look at the Miami Heat, who, again, they'll be in the playoff mix, going for 83 points in this one. But still plenty to get to as far as this Celtics and Spurs game. Celtics now 43-22. We do. Chris Forsberg says a pull report is in. So we will have that coming your way when we come back. Caleb Burton, Chris Forsberg, Michael Hawley, all going to be on set here reacting to the latest after, again, Jaylen Brown was ejected. 3.5 minutes left in the first half of this game after just basically dominating and controlling things. But that's coming up next on Celtics postgame.
First off, how are you feeling pre-game?
I feel good. Feel rusty, but walking out here healthy.
Like 19 minutes in the fourth quarter. Did you get winded at all? Or I mean, you said it's in minutes when it kind of sucks, but are you kind of dealing with it? How are you managing it?
In what way?
It's in terms of like your fatigue. Are you Could you go 35 if you really could, or are you good at 27 for now because of body?
No, I could play more. But, I mean, I understand the bigger picture in the moment, and it's, I'm not thinking about my Achilles, right? I'm trying to compete. I'm trying to be out there, but, it's part of the plan, so I got to stick with it.
What do your mind use your own manager?
I disagree with it. The NBA make a big deal about primetime games and stars playing and being available. He definitely got pushed. And, first tech probably warranted it. Emotions are high, but second tech, you gotta understand it's national TV game, two of the best teams in the league. And you make a big deal about stars playing, then you trigger happy to show somebody out the game. So I disagree with it.
Did you feel like what was your vantage point to learn?
I think he thought he got fouled. I think he got fouled too. I definitely earned the first one, and then I thought the second one was bullshit, honestly. It's a passionate game, high-level game. You can't throw out a guy that's done so much for us all year, and a game like this, especially joining in, I didn't throw him out. So I think that was ridiculous. And it was tough, obviously, to basically play the whole second half without him. I feel like a lot again. I don't even know how much time was on the clock, but yeah, I thought that was ridiculous.
All right, a great game by Derrick White. You see there, 34 points, 19 in the second. He did say. Go ahead.
He had his teammates back there, and I like. Right. No one wants to get fined. No one wants to lose money out of their wallet, but. Again, I think the Celtics feel for much of this season, and they're not a great free throw team overall, but it doesn't help when they feel that referees do not give them any leeway, any benefit of the doubt. And so sometimes you got to go to bat for yourself. And I like that he went to bat for his teammate, and from Joe standing behind Jaylen to now Derrick and Jayson mentioning it as well. You get the sense that they all no one wants to see one of your guys tossed from the game in a big time situation. But good to see Derrick have his back.
I feel like, Michael, when I listened to Derrick White, not only having his back, but I thought there was truth to everything that he said. That's just my humble opinion of him saying, hey, the first one he deserved, the second one I thought was BS. He's still pressing on that second one not being BS and being legit because he made his way towards the other.
No, I don't think it was BS, but I do agree with what you're saying, Forsberg. Look, even when you're wrong, it's like if I talk about you, your family would be like, hey, you can't talk about Forsberg. We can talk about Forsberg, but you can't. And so it's really like the family rallying around the family member. So, of course, this is what they're supposed to do. And if they didn't do that, there'd be a larger issue going on with the Celtics. So I'm glad that they had his back, but just kind of taking a step back from it, looking at it from 15,000, 20,000 feet. You just look at these situations. There's a reason. Look. Scal and Drew Carter have called a lot of games. There's a reason they both said, be careful. Why do you think they said be careful? In the broadcast, when Jaylen Brown, be careful, because they know. Yeah, you get a little too animated, you get a little too excited around some officials, and that thing could happen. He was on the brink of it. He was a whisper away from it, and then it happened.
It may have been.
And then they turned around and said, oh, no, what are you doing? Well, listen. You're the ones who said be careful because anytime I don't like putting things in the hands of mediocre people. So you got mediocre officials tonight. They're mediocre. They miss a lot. There was a lot that both teams didn't complain about tonight that they missed. I thought it was a brutally officiated game tonight. Entertaining, but brutally officiated. Okay. In those situations, don't make it worse. There are guys who didn't say anything on both sides. On both sides tonight, they didn't say anything where they could have because it was that bad. So you just got to know. You got to know the audience, and you just got to figure out how to get through it.
Well, speaking of saying some things, let's get to the pool report that came out, because what did you make of this?
Okay, so anytime there is an ejection or some sort of discrepancy on the court, reporters can put in for what's called a pool report. And usually one of the head beat writers in that city, in this case it's Michael Wright from ESPN, goes and gets a chance to talk with Tyler Ford. And, I'll boil it down here, but you just look, what did Brown do to receive a second technical foul? And he says he aggressively approached the game official while pointing and using profanity. Now, he doesn't say, it's hard to ask a referee.
For aggressively pointing? Read that. For aggressively pointing?
Aggressively approaching the game
that's in the rules.
while pointing and using
that's
aggressively pointing?
Yes.
How hard can you point? Is there what's the barometer of aggressively pointing?
I'm just telling you.
Is it if you use a middle finger, you're definitely gone. But if you use a pinky, if you use a thumb, come on, you see my point? Aggressively pointing.
This is what it is. There's no definitive line, right? It's all a judgment call. But as to Michael's point, you are allowing the refs to make a judgment call, and so. I do like the last question is why was there no foul called before the play, before the first technical foul? And he says, in live play we did not observe any illegal contact. Well,
a technical foul shall be assessed. Disrespectfully addressing an official, physically contacting.
Well, Michael reads this. I'll read this. Here's the steal of the game. It is brought to you by Stop and Shop. With more than 10,000 items on sale every week, it's easy to make winning plays like this at Stop and Shop. This is JB's steal before he was ejected, getting it to D. White, hitting it from downtown, and JB was dishing out dimes, really all 1.5 quarters. He could have had more than 7 here tonight, but
steal of the game should have gone to Suyaj Mehta for taking Jaylen Brown from
Period. That's the steal of the game.
Hey, listen, they missed the call. They did. They missed the initial call.
Yeah. They got the other ones, though. 125 to 116, the final. We got more coming your way here on Celtics Post Game Plus.